let's deep dive into binary system. So binary is the system consisting of zeros and ones, only two values. So basically computer runs on binary language, which is created using these two values, which are 0 and 1. So you would have seen many pictures consisting of long strings of zeros and ones. So that all consist data. So these long strings of zeros and ones consist lots of data which we consume today. So let's see the conversion of binary to decimal. Binary to decimal. So basically here, as we know these four different systems, so these numbers 10, 2, 16 and 8, these are called as the base numbers of these number systems. So in binary the base is 2 and in decimal it is 10. So let us see how to convert decimal to binary, and then we will come back to see how to convert binary to decimal. So first of all, let's choose a number. So for example, if I take 48, so we will now represent this 48 in the binary format or base 2 format. For this we need to create a factors table. So let's take 48 here and then let's divide it by 2. So here we get 24 and the here remainder was 0. So let's take again 2 and then divide it, so we get 12, and here also the remainder was 0. So again let's take the division by 2, so we get 6. So here the remainder was 0 again. So here again divide this by 2 and we get remainder 0 again. Again divide this by 2. Now you will see the change. Here also we got 0. In the next step, again dividing by 2, here we get remainder as 1. Sorry. So here we get remainder as 1. 2 ones are 2 plus 1 3. Now we have to write these remainders in reverse format. So first of all, this 1, sorry, so this 1 and then this 1, then 1 2 3 4, 4 zeros, 1 2 3 4. So this is the binary representation of number 48. So 1 1 0 0 0 0. This is the binary representation of number 48. So we have to divide the number by 2 and then note down the remainders obtained by the division and then add this in reverse order. So let's take one more example as 109. So its binary represent would be, first of all we need so here let's take 109 and then if we divide this by 2, we get 54, and then remainder would be 1. So again dividing this by 2, we get 27, and the remainder would be 0. Again dividing by 2, then 13, and the remainder was 1. So again dividing by 2 and getting 7, and the remainder is 1. So again dividing this by 2, we get 3, and remainder 1. So again dividing this by 2, we get here 1, and the remainder was also 1. So now write in reverse order. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 5 times 1, 0 and 1. So this is the binary representation of 109. So now let's create a function which would convert the decimal numbers into binary. So for creating a function, we would use the keyword def, and then the function name would be deci to bin, means decimal to binary, and then as an argument we would need to pass a number for which we need the binary representation, then a colon, and in next line let us take a string named binary rep and then initialize it as a string. As it is a string, it would be easy to reverse the uh, remainders we are getting while we are finding the binary representation. So now let us take a loop which would run when n is greater than equal to 1. So for this condition we are checking whether if n is greater than or equal to 1. If it is greater than or equal to 1, then we have to divide it by 2 and write down the remainder in the binary representation, and then we have to use the quotient of that number for the next loop. So basically we are checking n is greater than 1, as if n becomes to equal to 1, then we have to stop the loop. So if the number is 109, then we have to divide it by 2 and take the quotient and store it as n. So for the next loop the similar process will continue, and then its quotient will be considered for the next loop. So for that, for finding the quotient, we have an inbuilt operator, this double slash, and then we have to divide it by 2. So we have to save this in the variable n only, so that in the next loop the similar process continues. After this we have to add the remainder to the binary representation string. So if we add n modulus 2 here, then we will get the n modulus 2 of the new number. Means here we have changed the n, and then this n will be considered here. Means if we take the example of 109, then the modulus is 54. So now 54 is saved in the n, and if we take this remainder function, then the remainder would be from the 54. So we need the remainder of 109. So we will cut this and paste this before this quotient operation. So now let us add that to binary representation number. So we will add here the n modulus 2 and then plus the binary representation. So here it will automatically create a reverse string of the remainder. So basically the working is, if the binary number at first is empty, so the n modulus 2 value for this case it would be 1. So 1 plus empty means 1, and then in the next loop when n will be 54, then the remainder would be 0. So here we will get 0 and mod 2, so 0, and the previous binary representation was 1. Similarly, this would be the new binary representation, and then the third remainder would be the 1, so 1 will be added. So here 1 will be added. So similarly, it will create a reverse string by adding ones and zeros simultaneously, and we will get the representation in correct format. So now let us return this so that we can print out the value. So return binary rep. So let's call this function dec2bin using the previous example, which to check the correctness of our function. So let us take dec2bin 109 and then print this. Let's print this. Let's comment this out first. So now let's execute this. So here we got an error that this is an integer value and this is a string, so we can't concatenate int and string. So let's create this into string. Let's convert this into string. So now if we run, so here we have caused an error that we have used the return statement inside the while loop. So when binary representation here, so the basic working would be n is 109. So here n is 109 greater than equal to 1. So here binary representation is equal to n mod 2, which would be 1, means the remainder 1 plus empty string. So here binary rep is 1, and then after using the quotient we directly return. So we have here the indentation error. We have to take the return after the while loop. So now if we run this, we would get the whole string. So here we are getting 1101101. So we have caused an error while calculating this binary representation. So here 109, 25 is a 10, 24 is a 8, 1, 2 is a 4. So let's check the error using this function only. So we will print n in each loop. So here 54, 27, 13, we have written here 6, we have written here 7, but the output is 6. So 2 7s are 14. So we have caused an error here. We have to use 2 6 are 12 and 1 remainder. After that 2 3s are 6 and remainder would be 0. So we have caused an error and computer has correctly found out the binary representation. So let's check the binary representation of the previous number, which is 48. So let's change this to 48 and run this. So here we got 114 times 0, and let's check our answer. So 114 times 0, so it matches. So we have successfully created a correct function to convert decimal to binary. So we also have a predefined function called bin, which we can use. So let us cut this first, and then so we have a inbuilt function called bin in the Python, which converts the decimal integer into binary. So let's use that to validate our function, and then bin, then we have to use the number 48. So you can see here this is the output from the bin, and this is our output, first one. So here 0b, this is the indication that the number after this 0b is a decimal representation of the number. So here if we need to convert this into hexadecimal, we have a function hex. So if we use that, then we would get 0x. 0x means hexadecimal format, and if we change this x to find the octal representation, we have a function oct. So if we see, this is 0o means octal, b for binary, x for hexadecimal, o for octal. So these are the number representation in various formats.